Amen. Thank you for coming. That was great. Thank you, Anne. Wow. This morning, I will be sharing thoughts about winter solstice celebrations around the world and Luminescence, a uniquely Unitarian Universalist winter celebration. Luminescence is spontaneous emission of light by a substance not resulting from heat. This distinguishes luminescence from incandescence, which is light emitted by a substance as a result of heating. The dials, hands, scales, and signs of aviation and navigational instruments are often coated with luminescent materials. Have you ever been mesmerized on a summer evening viewing fireflies in the air? They are soft-bodied beetles that are commonly called fireflies or lightning bugs, or their conspicuous use of bioluminescence during flight. And at twilight, they attract mates or prey. Winged male glowworms may also exhibit bioluminescence, and their light may be emitted as flashes or as a constant glow, and usually range in colors of green, yellow, or orange. Shine, little glowworm, glimmer, glimmer. Hey there, don't get dimmer, dimmer. Light the path below, above, and lead us on to love. Glow, little glowworm, fly of fire. Glow like an incandescent wire. Glow for the female of the species. Turn on the AC and the DC. This night could use a little brightening. Light up, you little bug of lightning. When you gotta glow, you gotta glow. Glow, little glowworm, glow. Thanks to the Mills brothers for that. And let's not forget the Tinkerbell effect for Walt Disney's Peter Pan. When Tinkerbell, a luminous fairy, is revived from near death by the belief of the audience. Eyes that glow in pitch black night make for many a scary tale. But why do some animals' eyes glow at night? A lot of the animals we see, especially the ones that go out at night, have a special reflective surface right behind their retinas. That light reflecting surface, called the tapetum lucidum, helps animals see better in the dark. A large number of animals have the tapetum lucidum, including deer, dogs, cats, cattle, and horses. Humans do not. And not all animals' eyes glow the same color. Cats often have eyes that glow bright green, though Siamese cats' eyes often glow bright yellow. Miniature schnauzers have eyes that tend to glow turquoise. Angela Carter writes, fish in the sea are luminous so that they can recognize one another. Might not men and women also exude some kind of speechless luminescence, those akin to them? Anat Cohen, an Israeli musician, says, to me, music is a luminous experience. Whenever I'm immersed in music, my life lights up for me, no matter what else is going on. As noted in the opening words of our service today, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Santa Clarita, California, created their own unique religious holiday in 2007 and called it Luminescence. It was a candlelight worship service. Named the holiday Luminescence because it is representative of light being generated, and they wanted it to be representative of the light we generate as members of our UU faith. A quick glimpse at the calendar is one way to see how religiously diverse the United States has become. This year, December, a month that encompasses the Christian and Jewish celebrations of Christmas and Hanukkah, includes a spiritually significant day for Muslims, Buddhists, pagans, and Zoroastrians. One of the most widely known December holidays, Christmas traditions, vary around the world. While Americans celebrate with Christmas trees, visits from Santa Claus, and dreams of snowy landscapes, Christmas falls during Australia's summer, where it's popular to go camping or to the beach over the holiday. Some Australians decorate a Christmas bush, a native Australian tree with small green leaves and flowers that turn red during the summer. In England, Christmas traditions are similar to those in the United States, but instead of leaving milk and cookies for Santa Claus, children leave mince pies and brandy for Father Christmas. In Iceland, capital city Reykjavik turns into a winter wonderland with its Christmas market. And for the children, there's not one, but 13 Santas, known as Yule lads. One arrives each night in the 13 days before Christmas, leaving small gifts in shoes left in windowsills. December has finally arrived, and with it comes an abundance of colorful lights, vibrant wreaths, and, in normal times, numerous holiday parties. Most of these celebrations are inspired by Christmas and Hanukkah, but those are not the only religious holidays this month that many families may celebrate together. In fact, the Interfaith Calendar organization lists 14 religious holidays in the month of December. Of special interest is December 21st, Winter Solstice, celebrated by the Wicca pagan religion. Solstice is the point in the year when the Earth is most inclined away from the sun. It is the most southern or northern point, depending on the hemisphere. Pagans and Wicca believers celebrate the event through Yule, in which believers honor the winter-born king, symbolized by the rebirth of the sun. December 26th is Zarathostra, death of prophet Zarathustra, celebrated by Zoroastrians. Unlike many of the other holidays of the month, Zoroastrians honor the death of their prophet. Zarathustra founded Zoroastrianism, one of the world's most oldest monotheistic religions. Kwanzaa is an annual celebration of African American culture, which is held from December 26th to January 1st, culminating in gift giving and a feast of faith. It was first celebrated in 1960. And Buddhists celebrate Bodhi Day. This holiday celebrates the historical Buddha's decision to vow to sit under the Bodhi tree until he reached spiritual enlightenment. It's celebrated through meditation and is embraced similar to how Christians celebrate Christmas to honor Jesus Christ. And Unitarians created a winter luminescence holiday just 13 years ago. So, with widespread appreciation of many holidays at this time of year, why do we hear about Christmas controversies? What is the war on Christmas all about? Some Christians have denounced the generic greeting Happy Holidays and avoidance of using the term Merry Christmas. This often involves objections to government or corporate efforts to acknowledge Christmas in a way that is multiculturally sensitive. I believe that the only true controversy is a rational and patriotic effort to retain a clear separation between church and state. Organizations like the American Civil Liberties Union and the Freedom from Religion Foundation are not against those who wish to celebrate Christmas. They simply want to maintain separation between church and state. Therefore, religious symbols like the Ten Commandments and Christian displays are inappropriate on government property. Furthermore, some of my happy childhood memories from the 1950s fondly recall large storefront glass windows painted in bright colors proclaiming happy holidays without protest or criticism. The history of Christmas trees goes back to the symbolic use of evergreens in ancient Egypt and Rome, and continues with the German tradition of candlelit Christmas trees, first brought to America in the 1800s. Long before the advent of Christianity, plants and trees remained green all year, had a special meaning for people in the winter. Just as people today decorate their homes during the festive season with pine, spruce, and fir trees, ancient peoples hung evergreen boughs over their doors and windows. In many countries, it was believed that evergreens would keep away witches, ghosts, evil spirits, and illness. It is interesting that Christmas trees are grown in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. In the Northern Hemisphere, the shortest day and the longest night of the year falls on December 21 or 22 and is called the Winter Solstice. Many ancient people believed that the sun was a god, and the winter came every year because the sun god had become sick and weak. They celebrated the solstice because it meant that at last the sun god would begin to get well. Evergreen boughs reminded them of all the green plants that would grow again when the sun god was strong and summer would return. The ancient Egyptians worshipped a god called Ra, who had the head of a hawk and wore the sun as a blazing disk in his crown. At the solstice, when Ra began to recover from his illness, the Egyptians filled their homes with green palm branches, which symbolized for them the triumph of life over death. Early Romans marked the solstice with a feast called Saturnalia, in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture. The Romans knew that the solstice meant that farms and orchards would eventually, once again, be green and fruitful. To mark the occasion, they decorated their homes and temples with evergreen boughs. Northern Europe, the mysterious Druids, the priests of the ancient Celts, also decorated their temples with evergreen boughs as a symbol of everlasting life. And the fierce Vikings in Scandinavia thought that evergreens were the special plant of the sun god Balder. Germany is credited with starting the Christmas tree tradition as we know it. In the 16th century, devout Christians brought decorated trees into their homes. Some built Christmas pyramids of wood and decorated them with evergreens and candles. It is widely held belief that Martin Luther, the 16th century Protestant reformer, first added lighted candles to a tree. Walking toward his home one winter evening composing a sermon, Martin Luther was awed by the brilliance of stars twinkling amidst evergreens. To recapture the scene for his family, he erected a tree in the main room of his home and wired its branches with lighted candles. Most 19th century Americans found Christmas trees an oddity. The first record of one being on display was in the 1830s by the German settlers of Pennsylvania, although trees had been a tradition in many German homes much earlier. But as late as the 1840s, Christmas trees were seen as pagan symbols and not accepted by most Americans. It's not surprising that, like many other festive Christian Christmas customs, the tree was adopted so late in America. To the New England Puritan, it was sacred. Pilgrim's second governor, William Bradford, wrote that he tried hard to stamp out pagan mockery of the observance, penalizing any frivolity. The influential Oliver Cromwell preached against the heathen traditions of Christmas carols, decorated trees, and any joyful expression that desecrated the sacred. So, what might living a luminescent life mean to you? What makes you happy? What makes you glow, even during this darkest month of the year? Author and creative visionary Rebecca Campbell says, "We light up the world by following what lights us up. The things that light you up will be completely different from what light me up. There are no wrong paths, no whopping mistakes, no complete day-by-day life plan etched in stone by guilt. We are here to share the unique gifts we all possess. There is no big secret to uncover, no contract which says you will do X, after that you will do Y, and straight after that you will do Z. We don't discover our soul calling, we uncover it by following the trail of things that light us up and then lose ourselves in the doing of those things. If you love smelling flowers, smell flowers. If you love writing, start writing. If you love organizing events, put on a show. If you love making art, get out the pastel. If you love raw food, then start chopping. If you love taking pictures, snap happy. If you love dancing to classical music with a beat, give me a high kick. Don't feel like you can only do one thing. Give your multi-dimensional soul what it craves. Do them all. Don't do it for a reason or an end goal. Do it because you love doing it. Follow what you love without knowing where it will lead. When you follow what you love, the universe will pick up on it. On that expanded feeling that you send, more things to match will meet your newly found expansion. Rebecca continues, through following the things that lit me up, I discovered that I liked taking photos, making things beautiful, surrounding myself with nature, and mostly the whispers of my soul through writing. I wasn't writing to tell someone anything. I was writing to feel connected with my soul. I gave myself permission to play with these things every single day, not because I wanted to create something in particular, but just because I let myself play. One day while walking in a park, I heard my soul whisper and wrote it down with my favorite black Sharpie. I then took a beautiful photo of me holding the notebook with some peonies in the background. It should be illegal how much I adore peonies. I wasn't writing for someone else, I was writing for myself. I felt light, energized, expanded, and joyful. Over time, after showing up to this joyful practice every day, my own unique writing style began to emerge. And so I wrote every day, for 10 minutes at first, then 20, then 30, then hours on end. What started as a 5-minute bit of play for the pure enjoyment of it is now a full-time job. And it only emerged because I kept following what lit me up without being attached to an outcome. Start small, follow the invisible trail of the things you love. Before you know it, you will land smack bang in the middle of your calling. Work your light. Thanks to Rebecca Campbell for sharing her insight into celebrating a personal luminescence. I would like to briefly share a few things that illuminate my life. My husband, Mark, his love, patience, and compromise for the last 43 years. The privilege of traveling around the world, enjoying making new friends, and appreciating new foods, traditions, and customs. Music, from Mozart to the Monkees, from Beethoven to the Beatles. Precious friendships with members and friends of our West Valley UU congregation. And meaningful relationships with 10 young adults from Nepal who affectionately call me Grandpa. This month of the winter solstice, during an ongoing pandemic, can be a unique opportunity contemplate what are the most important joys in our lives. May we make a concerted effort to appreciate our blessings and joys. I close with the lyrics of a favorite old song, You Light Up My Life, a ballad written by Joseph Brooks, best known by the recording by Debbie Boone, the daughter of Pat Boone. It held the #1 position on the Billboard Top 100 chart for 10 consecutive weeks in 1977. So many nights I'd sit by my window, waiting for someone to sing me his song. So many dreams I kept deep inside me, alone in the dark, but now you've come along. And you light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill my nights with song. Roiling at sea, adrift on the water. Could it be finally I'm turning for home? Finally a chance to say, hey, I love you. Never again to be all alone. And you light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill my nights with song. It can't be wrong when it feels so right. 'Cause you light up my life. I will have that tune in my head for the rest of the day. May you carry a happy tune in a happy heart.
Thank you so much, Jim, for that enlightening message. May the glow be with us. We conclude